Alright, so here we are for part 3, hopefully our final part of the Bite of the Draculator walkthrough. So, here we are with Merrick stuck behind the sunlight. He can't walk into it. But we have this probe that can go and get that umbrella for us. Now, this puzzle was brilliant. Snarky's idea. The probe gets the umbrella, but the umbrella, when it's open, cannot come through the fence. So Merrick can't have the umbrella, but if the probe moves in tandem with Merrick, wherever Merrick goes, the probe can have the umbrella over him and thus have Merrick in shadow. Brilliant. There goes our probe. There's the umbrella. Oh, it opens. But now Merrick can walk in shade the whole way across. And then, note carefully, the probe puts the umbrella back and comes to join us. We need that probe later on.
More guards. Fortunately, they are distracted by something going on behind that door. I've got to take them out if I'm going to make good my escape.
So this is the guard room. The guard sprites, one of them's by Jared, I think this one, although not at this angle, and Ab Stauber drew the other ones. They are animated by Big GC, quite impressively. These cockroaches, a first-time animation by Tabata, and they worked out quite well, I think. Background by Crimson Wizard. He also did the background later on when this room gets a little altered. You'll know what I'm talking about when it happens. And now we could pick up a...
I feel a little dirty carrying this thing around with me.
There, he's picked up a cockroach. You could try picking up these ones, but it'll say something to the effect that, oh, I get freaked out when cockroaches are above me. The reason we did that is just because the coding of making sure that the cockroach was close enough and then having him reach up, well, that made it very difficult for us to implement. So we basically just decided to make a message saying he was grossed out by people, or cockroaches being above him, and therefore we just had an excuse not to put it in. Now if Merrick tries to approach these guards, oh! They turn around, they kill him. The guards shoot you. Dead! But because we here at S'more Mags are feeling nice, we'll give you another shot at it. Maybe there's a way to take those guards out before they have time to shoot you. The clue being time, right? So how can we speed things up? Well, if we have our cheetah blood, and since our walk speed is cranked way up, you won't notice much of a difference, but...
That cheetah blood has enabled me to move fast, if only temporarily.
Let's go get some guards now. Let's get this one first.
Meh. This one needs more salt. Oh my, that was a good vintage. Taste discipline. Those guards were easy pickings. It's going to be a cakewalk getting out of here.
Now notice the flashing lights back here.
What the...
Hey, lover boy, did you miss us?
We're here to rescue you.
Holy vampire twins! I'd forgotten all about that. Hey babe.
Dave, altered him.
Oh my, this won't do at all.
Oh, all this mechanical stuff? It's cool, baby. I'm still the same on the inside.
Well...
What my sister is trying to say is that since your vampire purity has been compromised,
we're going to have to obliterate you.
You got there in the end, sis.
Thanks.
Now it's time to die. Cyborgs, come!
Alright, Alright, so this robot monster sprite was designed by Pinback. The two sprites we saw were designed by Jack Pumpkinhead. They voiced the dark one by Sinatrina.
But I'm still trying to do the fast work.
But you're taking too long.
Come on, just give me a couple more seconds.
Well, okay. But just a few more.
Fine.
We'll just pause the game a little bit with the GUI up so that I can finish that. The dark vampire twin was voiced by Sinatrina. The blonde one was voiced by Kat. And the the robot monster was voiced actually by two people. Two people volunteered at the exact same time, K. Conan and DDQ, and what they actually did was they voiced over each other's lines and then added an effect, so it's actually two people talking right there, and I always get a kick when I call him Loverboy. Alright, so they've smashed through the wall. We'll get rid of this. And suddenly there's this shaft of sunlight. Oh, we can't go in there to actually fight him. He's going to, or the robot monster, is going to obliterate us if we don't fight back. What are we going to do?
It is time to die.
But I'm still trying to think of my last
They're going to repeat it that for a
But
while.
you're taking too long.
Come on, just give me a couple more
So,
seconds.
the solution to this problem
Okay, but just a few more.
has to do with suddenly this barrier fence has been removed since they smashed through, and now there's a shaft of sunlight. Hey, we can send a probe up there. So we send the probe up there. Look at this gas main kind of looking thing. There goes our probe. And suddenly we've got some gas.
Seriously. Say your last words so we can blast you already.
They're not actually going to blast him yet, because he has to do one thing. And this was a plot idea of Wiz.
It is time to die.
He had this notion that Merrick was kind of this nihilistic kind of character, and he would just blow everyone up in the end in order to end the game.
But just a few
So
more.
what we did is we adapted that. If Merrick uses either the vegetable power of the pine cone to be able to survive forest fires, thus the blast, or if he bites into the cockroach, which can pretty much survive the apocalypse, either way, he'll take on the power temporarily to survive the blast. I'm going to go with the cockroach here, just because it's much more fun.
If I suck the blood of this cockroach, it just might make me imbearable to the apocalypse. Here goes nothing. Ew.
It is time to die.
What? Just like that? Couldn't you give me a warning shot or something?
Very well. We will fire one shot into the air, and then we will annihilate you.
Cool.
What was that?
I think something exploded inside the base.
It's a good thing this robot distractor unit actually was invincible.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but at least that traitor Merrick was incinerated in the blast.
Yes, good riddance to that scum. So, what do we do now that we've killed our vampire boy toy?
Hey, we could always make another one.
Awesome idea, sis.
Son of a bitch! That base cost $8 billion to build and equip. Well, at least that traitor Merrick was incinerated in the blast. Come on, boys, let's get some beer and go watch reruns of MASH.
You alright there, little buddy? You still look a little pale.
So numb, so cold.
Well, at least the villainous VCU is destroyed.
The vacuum containment utility?
No, the vampire cyborg unit.
Not necessarily. If he was able to drink the blood of a cockroach, well known to have the ability to survive nuclear winter.
Your lightheadedness is giving you delusions, my boy. No one could have survived that blast.
But
Let's get back to my place and play some classic text adventures on my old Amiga system.
Revenge!
So, anyway, what just happened there? Merrick tricked the robot monster into blasting the base to smithereens because the gas main was open. We saw some cutscenes there that wrapped everything up. So the first one where we had the vampire twin portraits, those were done by Secret Fawful, and he actually also did the nice moon background behind the other protagonists as they were wrapping things up. The background of the pod is actually just ripped directly, and a few of the colors changed from one of my old games. No one came through with that in the end, so we just plugged that in there. We figured no one would really notice. And finally, that final background, that was my work, Baron. My work, I did that in about 20 minutes, and the hand coming up was animated by Snarky, and he had that brilliant idea of that kind of dramatic lightning flash at the end as Merrick shouts, "Revenge!" Now I realize the sound's a bit offset here, but the idea was that it would flash, and then it would cut to be continued, and then you'd hear the menacing thunder. Now we're not really sure if this project is going to be continued, but we thought it was a dramatic end. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to see more of the interactions that we didn't get to in this quick playthrough, by all means download the game from www.bigbluecup.com. I hope you've been reading through our myriad of credits, because all these people put a lot of hard work into the project. And now it's just going to cycle through again, and we're back to the beginning. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.